What is up, you guys? Welcome back. Welcome to Guerra Movie House. A few hours ago, I decided to get on Twitter and ask everyone what the worst horror remake movie of all time was in their opinion. Not only did I get really good responses, but I got an amazing discussion out of it. If you guys are not on Twitter, please get on there. We talk about movies. We talk about pretty much anything all day long, every single day. It's always a blast talking to other BlueTubers and talking to other viewers, just talking to everyone about things that I love talking about. It's always fun. So if you guys are not on there, make sure you guys do so. I will put the link down below. But like I said, I got really good responses, and I think only one person mentioned the movie that I'm about to talk about. 1, 2, 3.
Guerra Movie House!
Okay, so just like the title says, the worst horror remake that I have ever seen in my life is the 1998 remake of the original 1960 Psycho. I honestly hate that movie. I mean, there's so many other movies that I dislike, but this is one that I literally hate. Strong words, I know. But before I talk about that movie, I want to talk about the original movie. The story of Psycho is really not that complicated. You have Janet Leigh's character, Marion, who is a secretary at a bank. One day she is given the responsibility to take $40,000 from a customer and move it from one place to another. She decides to not only steal the money, but steal it and run away. During a rainstorm, she decides to stop at the Bates Motel. She then meets the very famous, the Psycho himself, Norman Bates. Norman Bates begins to have a crush on Janet Leigh's character, and because he is a mama's boy, his mom gets jealous. Or he gets jealous. The mom inside of him gets jealous of the crush that he himself has on Janet Leigh's character. If you guys have seen the movie, I'm sure that makes sense. This movie is so popular that people that haven't seen the movie know everything there is to know about the movie. They know about the murder, they know about Norman Bates, they know about the motel, Norman Bates and his mother, they know about Janet Leigh's character and the famous shower scene. So for those of you that haven't seen it, I'm sure it's not a surprise that Marion, Janet Leigh's character, ends up getting murdered. Of course, how else would we have the famous shower scene? So of course she is murdered. Norman Bates gets rid of the body. Not only does her boss realize that $40,000 is missing, but he also realizes that she is missing. Not only does her boss realize that she's missing, but her sister and her boyfriend. So they all decide to hire a personal investigator. The personal investigator actually does a really good job tracking her down and ends up at the Bates Motel and ends up talking to Norman Bates, trying to figure out what happens, and then the story pretty much carries itself. The original Psycho is the definition of a psychological thriller. Everything about it is suspenseful, from beginning to end. I mean, honestly, even if there's two people not saying a word to each other and they're just looking at each other, the way that Alfred Hitchcock shot this movie, even those moments can be extremely suspenseful. If you guys have not seen this movie, if for some bizarre, strange, out of this world, insane reason you haven't seen this movie, go find it and watch it. But aside from money, I honestly cannot understand, I cannot find an idea of any sort or an excuse of why anybody would want to remake this. Not only that, but why you would want to remake it like this. The Psycho remake came out in 1998 and was directed by Gus Van Sant, who has actually made some pretty good movies. But why he would ever decide to recreate this is beyond me. Nothing about it makes sense. The casting doesn't even make any sense. Everyone does the exact same thing. Same lines, same body movements, same everything. There are a lot of remakes where actors, characters recreate those lines, but they do them differently to make them feel fresh. They try to give the character that they're playing a different version of what they think that character might be like, instead of trying to do the exact same thing. That's what every actor in this remake was trying to do. They weren't trying to portray the characters that they're supposed to be portraying. They were trying to portray the actors that played those characters in the original movie. Why are you doing this? Why would anybody try to do that? You're an actor. You read a script and you connect to the character that you're supposed to be playing. And after you find that connection, you're supposed to portray them in the way that you feel they would be, in the character that you see in your mind, not the character that you already saw somebody else play. And aside from the acting, the directing, Gus Van Sant, how do you even take credit for directing this movie when Alfred Hitchcock already directed this movie for you? Because you literally did everything shot for shot. They're called credits for a reason. People's names go on the credits to give credit to the people that were part of making this film. You didn't direct this movie. Alfred Hitchcock did. And even though you recreated it, you didn't recreate it in your vision. You just copied everything. So this should be also directed by Alfred Hitchcock, of course. But I'm also sure that he would not like to take credit for this. So never mind, you can have it. I mean, technically, not even the editor should get credit for editing this movie. I'm sure that while editing this movie, the editor just sat with 2 monitors. And one monitor, he had the original, and in the other monitor, he had the remake. And that editor, he or she just sat there and said, okay, that goes there, and that goes there. And would just rewatch the exact same scenes and then found a really good one. And their definition of what a good one would be, of course, and then just put it where it needs to be. And then they created the exact same thing just like that. How is that editing? You get no credit because somebody else already did it for you. People also need to understand that Alfred Hitchcock could have made this movie in color if he wanted to. But being the master director that he is, he knew that it wasn't going to work, so he decided to make it in black and white. I mean, seriously, it's 2014 and a lot of directors still make that choice. We have so many great special effects now that we can pretty much recreate or create anything. And people, certain directors, are still shooting their movies in black and white because they feel, being the artists that they are, they feel that it is necessary for certain films to be in black and white. And that's what Alfred Hitchcock did. Not only is this movie in color, but everything is way too bright and colorful. I'm talking about the clothing, the furniture, the fabrics, the sunlight. Everything in this movie is extremely colorful. Why? I will never ever understand. It honestly just ruins the mood. It ruins the vibe. I understand that some people don't necessarily consider the Psycho remake a remake. Some people actually consider this movie to be an experiment. But these people are professional filmmakers. We have professional actors, professional directors and writers and producers and editors. If anybody wants to recreate a movie scene or recreate a movie, then let it be the people that at least haven't made it to the movie industry yet. Because in my opinion, recreating a scene shot for shot or recreating a movie or anything is a great way to practice your skills. It's a great way to learn the filmmaking process. We have a lot of horrible remakes, but I can at least give those remakes credit for trying to recreate the story that we've already seen, for trying to make it new and fresh and maybe throw in a few different ideas. This remake doesn't have that at all. I mean, if you're gonna try, at least try and fail, because at least people will give you credit for trying. I mean, why wouldn't you make any changes? Why wouldn't you try something new? Okay, actually, now that I think about it, I'm gonna have to take that back because they did make a few changes. For example, the intro, whenever Alfred Hitchcock decided to slowly pan the camera into the apartment where Janet Leigh is with her boyfriend, and then that actually cuts. It cuts from the window to inside of the apartment. Gus Van Sant decided to just make it one shot. Oh, and whenever Norman Bates is wearing the wig, whenever he's portraying his mother, Vince Vaughn, the wig, I believe his hair is down. In the original, Norman Bates has his hair up. So they can also have credit for that, I guess. And of course, how can we forget, in the remake, Vince Vaughn actually masturbates. He jerks off while he's peeping through the hole, when in the original, he doesn't really do that. So I guess you can also have credit for that. And that also reminds me of the shower scene. Yes! In the remake, during the shower scene, while Norman Bates is murdering Janet Leigh, in the remake, we get very, very quick clips of clouds and animals. And I think a naked woman with her mask, or a mask, or something. And that wasn't in the original. But it's in the remake, so they can also have credit for that. But yeah, you guys, like I said, this is by far for sure the worst remake I have ever seen in my whole entire life. But if you guys agree with me, please leave a comment down below and let me know how you feel about this movie. If you guys disagree, also leave a comment down below and let me know why. I would love to hear that someone likes this movie, and I would also like to hear why. But as always, thank you guys very much for watching. Leave your comments down below. Like the video if you like, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you for watching Guerra Movie House. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. Peace out, homies.